Dear students, in previous lecture we discussed concept of infinite bus bar. Today in this lecture we are going to discuss process of connecting an alternator to an infinite bus bar. This process is known as synchronization. Before that, let us discuss some advantages of operating alternators in parallel. So, first point you may note down. It increases reliability of the system of parallel connected alternators. How? In case of failure of one alternator or even more than one alternators, the other alternators are available to take care of loads connected to the system. That is, continuity of supply will not be disturbed even an alternator is out of state, that is failed, or even more than one alternator is failed. Next, it allows a larger load which may not be supplied with the help of a single alternator. But now we are capable of supplying a larger load, relatively larger load. This also comes among the advantages of parallel operation of alternators. This system now allows an alternator for its maintenance or even shutdown, as other alternators are available to take care of loads to maintain the continuity of the supply. And the most important point, the next one, it improves the overall efficiency of the system. As we know that the efficiency of an alternator with load or any machine generally follows this trend. That is, maximum efficiency occurs at a particular load, which is near to full load. So when alternator is supplying a load alone, then we don't have the freedom of always setting the point corresponding to maximum efficiency, as a single alternator has always to take care of the variation of load. But when several alternators are connected in parallel, then now we have the opportunity to operate alternators near to their full load, that is maximum efficiency point, by operating only a fraction of total number of alternators connected in parallel. No need to run all the alternators. So this way, we have several advantages by operating alternators in parallel. Now come to the main point of today's lecture, that is process of connecting an alternator, that is synchronizing an alternator to an infinite bus bar. So far, this alternator is not connected with this infinite bus bar. As you can observe that this switch S is not yet closed. So in order to connect this alternator to an infinite bus bar, the conditions which must be satisfied are: condition number 1, the phase voltage magnitude of incoming alternator must be equal to phase voltage magnitude of the infinite bus bar. That is, VA magnitude must be equal to VB and VA small a, and similarly VB must be equal to this VB and VC capital C must be equal to VC, where these VA, VB and VC, these are the phase voltages of alternator, whereas these notations VA small a, VB, VC are phase voltages of infinite bus bar. Otherwise, what will happen? If this condition number 1 is not satisfied, then what will happen? If you are going to close this switch, then due to this potential drop, a large current will flow. Short circuit will happen due to this potential drop. And this large current may damage the machine. Large current in all the three phases may damage the machine. That's why this condition must be satisfied. Condition number 2, the frequency of generated EMF of this alternator must be nearly equal to the frequency of infinite bus bar. Just mark this word, nearly equal. I will explain later. Otherwise, a large power transient will occur until this alternator stabilizes its frequency equal to the bus bar frequency. So to avoid this large power transients, we have to keep the frequency of this incoming alternator nearly equal to, generally it is kept slightly higher than bus bar frequency. Fine. Point number 3, the two phase sequences must be equal. That is, phase sequence of incoming alternator must be equal to phase sequence of infinite bus bar. Otherwise, what will happen? Just focus here. So phase voltages of alternators are VA, VB, VC, capital A, B, C. Here VA, VB and VC, and phasors are rotating in anti-clockwise direction. As discussed, that frequency of incoming alternator must be slightly higher. That's why here F plus del F is written to make it slightly higher than the frequency of rotation of this phasor, which is corresponding to infinite bus bar phasor. So we are talking about phase sequences. In figure, the two set of phasors are having same phase sequences. You may observe A here, then B here, and then C, again A, B, C. So same phase sequence, A, B, C. So if phase sequence is same, which must be there under condition number 3, then whenever VA coincides with this VA, VB will coincide with this VB, and VC will coincide with this VC. And this is the moment when switch must be closed. This switch S must be closed. At that moment, the potential drop between these 2 points, either side of this switch, will be 0. The 2 points will be at the same potential. Similarly, the moment when this VA coincides with this VA, the two potential becomes equal. This VB coincides with this VB, and the two potential, this point and this point, on either side of this switch will be equal. So there is no harm in closing the switch at that moment. Similarly for this also. But if phase sequence is not same, that is opposite to that of incoming alternator, then the moment when this VA will coincide with this VA, the other two set of phasors VB and VC will be out of phase by 120 degree. And if this switch S is closed, then there will be no problem in the phase where the two voltages are coinciding, but due to the 120 degree phase displacement among the two set of phasors of other two phases will create again the same problem of point number 1. That is, it will cause large currents to flow in the two phases, which may damage the machine. That's why we have to take care of the phase sequences also under third condition discussed so far. Fine. And the last one, the fourth one, phase displacement between the phase voltages of incoming alternator and infinite bus bar must be zero. I am talking about phase displacement. That is, the two phasors must have same phase angles. For example, see the condition. At this moment, if we are going to close the switch, though the magnitudes will be same, but the two phasors are having a finite phase displacement. So again, if we are going to close the switch at this moment, this VAA, that is the voltage drop between these two, that is VA minus this VA, will cause again a short circuit current to flow. So ideally, these two voltages, or even we can say practically, must be same while closing this switch. And this will be possible when these 2 points, point 1 and point 4, are simultaneously satisfied. So point number 1 says that the magnitudes must be equal, that is length of these phasors must be equal. The two, one from incoming, another from this, either phase A or phase B or phase C, the corresponding phase voltage magnitudes must be equal. And point 4 says that the phase angles also should be equal. So these are the 4 conditions which must be satisfied before closing this switch S, that is before connecting this incoming alternator to infinite bus bar, means before synchronizing this alternator to infinite bus bar. That's it. Other details, subsequent discussions will be covered in upcoming lectures. Before that, okay, so how to get this point, how to achieve this point, point number 1, that is how to equate the phase voltage magnitude of incoming alternators to equate it to phase voltage magnitudes of the infinite bus bar. We know it, that by regulating field excitation, that is by changing field current of the alternator, we can vary its voltage magnitude. So we will adjust the field excitation till the phase voltage magnitudes becomes equal to the phase voltage magnitude of the infinite bus bar. So this way we can achieve point number 1. How to achieve point number 2? That is, frequency of this alternator should be nearly equal to frequency of infinite bus bar. Frequency has direct relation on the speed of prime mover. We know it very well. So by regulating the speed of prime mover of alternator, we can regulate its frequency and we can achieve the desired frequency required for connecting this alternator to the infinite bus bar. Now come to the third point, which says that the two phase sequences should be equal. So phase sequences will be either true or wrong. That is, whether required is ABC, so either it will be ABC or ACB. There is no third option. So by chance, maybe the two system, so far we have not connected. So we can say that one system is infinite bus bar, another system is a standalone alternator which is not yet connected. Once it will be connected, it will be the part of the system. So the two may be having this phase sequence by chance. So just we need to check it. How we will check it? So one way is, just take a small three-phase induction motor and connect this induction motor one by one, once with this alternator, and see its direction of rotation, whether clockwise or anti-clockwise. Similarly, once this induction motor is connected with this infinite bus bar, again note down the direction of rotation, whether clockwise or anti-clockwise. If the direction of rotation in the two cases is same, it means that two are having same phase sequences of the EMFs in three phases. Otherwise, we need to change the two terminals. Better to change the terminals of alternator. Otherwise, you may change the terminal of infinite bus bar also, any of the two. So this way, we can make the two phase sequences equal.